to when you get into this desperate scenario like I've done, and I'm going to tell you these two stories right now that actually help me to get out of my own bloody head and be obsessed with these girls to actually just move on down the road, okay? These are my stories now. Peter. Hey guys and girls, we're getting straight into it today, you know. Oh, there's a lot of depressed people out there at the moment about, wow, and do you know what we're going to do today? I'm going to go through a method I find that helps me when you're in a desperate situation, when you're mad about somebody, when you're crazy about somebody and you want to, you know, you're getting messed around with them, you don't know where you are with them, all of a sudden then you're drunk, you're texting them, you're calling them, you know, God knows, look, we've all been there, we all make an ass out of ourselves at some stage. And for me, I found a good solution. And now, it doesn't help, it doesn't finish all your problems, it definitely helps. We're going to talk about that now in a few minutes. But you know what, guys, I want to just talk about here quickly, this UFO stuff here, I'm obsessed with this stuff. I've watched Joe Rogan about 1,000 times. I've seen the Bob Lazar one, I've seen the Jeremy Corbell one, I've seen the Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, I've seen the Commander David Fravor one, there was a CIA dude. I mean, I'm actually getting not much sleep here on this one. I've been up all night watching this stuff over and over, especially after these Senate hearings there. I mean, this is not good, man. This is not good. I'm gonna be knackered. Oh. Are they real? Are they really real? Because you know what? I don't think this is a good idea, finding out if they are or not. And I was only saying it a few days ago. By the way, we're going to go into it now, guys. I'm not going to be harping on too much if you're thinking I'm crazy at believing in UFOs. I do believe in UFOs. I genuinely do. I just don't know what to believe of these people out here, if they're full of shit or not. But I'm a big fucking believer in UFOs. Big time. I don't think we should find out. I really don't think we should find out. Think about this. We know there's a... If they are real, okay? If they are real, there's civilizations that are traveling here, no problem. They've got way better technology than us. They can come in and come out as they please. They could... Well, looks like they could destroy us at any second. Now, the good news is, they haven't done it yet, so hey, if it was going to happen already, touch wood, they probably fucking would have already, you know? But, you know, like, doesn't this break down our religious beliefs too? I mean, I'm a believer in God, I am, and I still think I would be after that if I found out, but Jesus, maybe I'd change my mind, maybe I'd start thinking twice. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think the whole world would go into a fucking meltdown because you don't know if they're going to show up or not. Are they going to come over today? You know? Where are they in the sky? We'd start freaking out, I think. Opening up Pandora's box, not a good thing. Curiosity kills the fucking cat. I just can't see any good that's going to come out of us for the civilization. And believe me, guys, I'm not trying to piss on this because I'm a believer and I'd love to fucking know. But I don't want to know either. I try and logically think through this whole thing. I just think at the end of the day, la 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 la, fucking fingers in the ears. We don't need to know. Alright, anyway. So, we're going to talk about today. This is an interesting one, guys. And this has happened to me a few times now, okay? So in other words, we've all been there when you're desperate. You don't know what to do with the person that you're dealing with. They're fucking you around. They're showing you interest, but then for some reason they don't want to meet up. You know, there's always an excuse. They're always too busy, but yet then all of a sudden you might see them on a dating app or in a fucking shop on social media shopping while they're meant to be studying or fucking working. In other words, they're full of shit, right? And then, you know, though, you have that moment where you have a breakdown. And by the way, guys, I'm speaking from my own point of view here. I'm giving you two stories of what happened to me, okay? And guys, I honestly think this should help when you get into this desperate scenario like I've done. And I'm going to tell you these two stories right now that actually help me to get out of my own bloody head and be obsessed with these girls to actually just move on down the road, okay? These are my stories now. So, where do we start? Okay, where do we start? So, the first girl. Meet her on Tinder. And we're chatting away. And like, guys, this is 2023, okay? This is about like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And for some reason, everything's going really well. And I know the dating world sucks right now, guys. So like, if there's anybody out there, you know, there's quite a few people that do come up to me, right? And the people say this to me, oh, well, you must get a lot of attention from women, you know, being on your social media. I don't. And these are my stories here, okay? God, hand to God. Like, I'm not trying to put on a lovely show here. Look how wonderful I am and trying to rub it in people's faces. Nope. I'm telling you the goddamn fucking truth. And I hope to help you guys. So anyway, I'm going on here. So the thing is, we're chatting away on Tinder. And then we go to WhatsApp. And I mean, for 2 weeks, guys, the messages are going back and forth, back and forth. Now, I'm incredibly busy for those 2 weeks, and she's the exact same. She's studying over here in Ireland, and that's okay, right? So I'm thinking, well, you know what? That's okay. That's fine. Look, I'm busy. She's busy. And like, to be fair, guys, you see, there's a lot of people do put a lot of pressure. Well, you know, if the person really wants to meet you, they'll make an effort. I get that. Now, I also get, for me anyway, I work my ass off. And for me, if I'm working my ass off, there's some days I just do not want to meet anyone. So you could say, yeah, I'm not interested in her. Not that much, because I don't want to see her. But I would say the same thing for everybody else too. I want to just be on my own. So it's not a personal attack. Now, look, Jesus, I'm not here to make excuses. I just understand that, you know, things can happen. Now again, you gotta judge the scenario too here, you know what I mean? So, okay. So we're chatting away, and, you know, we're okay not meeting yet because we're kind of actually just having a good bit of banter on the messages, and we're chatting about this, chatting about that, kind of getting to know each other. So we go for the first date, and we go to this museum, right? We're just wandering around. She's actually working that day, and she's on a break. So anyway, she's on social media as well, and she's looking at her. Of course, I didn't see this at this stage. So on the date, she's asking me about this and asking me about that. Hey, is that a red flag? And I'm kind of like, what's going on here? Is she following me, or as in, is she following me on social media? So she was following me on social media. So I was kind of giving her advice, but it was kind of weird advice because she was asking me just a general question about relationships. So I'm thinking, is she talking about me and her, or is she talking about some other dude, or maybe even some other girl? So I kind of ignored it because I was like, all right, well, look, just a bit of banter. So we have the date. We're done. Then there's a little bit of chat. Oh, and at the end of the date, she's on about, well, I've seen you on LinkedIn. You don't get any views on there. And afterwards, that just didn't sit right with me. Not that I give a shit about LinkedIn. I'm way too late for LinkedIn at this stage. I ain't going to get anything on LinkedIn. And that's okay. It's no problem. But for some reason, it didn't sit right with me because this girl, why is she saying this? And then afterwards, after the date, something just didn't sit right with me. So I checked out her social media, and of course she's calling herself the blonde bombshell, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, fuck, Peter, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? No wonder she's throwing jabs at me, right? And it's almost like she's jealous of me having some followers, which is fucking crazy, because number one, I've only got about maybe, let's say, 34,000 followers on all channels. That's nothing compared to people out there. Like, I am extremely small time comparing to loads of people, and I'm humble, I'm very humble to know that. And I don't go around thinking I'm the fucking man. Look at me, everybody. Nope. Now, and I work my ass off at it, yes. And I get a lot of views, yes, in a month. But the followers, I don't have a huge amount. Now, secondly, I'm thinking, why is this girl throwing a jab? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I did pick it up wrong, okay? You know, you start to sort of doubt yourself. And I went, she's hardly jealous over a guy. Like, I can understand where guys get jealous of one another. Our guys get girls get jealous of other girls. But a girl and guy competing? Are you fucking serious? So I left it to the side. Anyway, there's a bit of banter, this and that. Blah, blah, blah. So a couple of days later, I'm asking her, does she want to go for dinner? So we're meant to meet 10 o'clock that night. Now guys, look, sorry now if you think I'm harping on here about this whole story. But I think it's important to show you in this whole story where I came from and how I actually just fell into this desperation sand pit, okay? Quicksand almost. And actually like how we can kind of lose ourselves a bit. So anyway, so I ask her for dinner. She says that she'll tell me on the day. Now I only gave her a day and a half notice, but that was okay. You know, I still said I'd ask her to go out. So she goes, look, can I tell you on the day because I've got some work, I got some study. I went, absolutely, no fucking problem, of course. Because again, it wasn't planned. She wasn't backing out of anything. So anyway, on the day, about 4 or 5 o'clock comes around. Heard nothing from her. I'm like, huh. Well, there you go. She's obviously not interested. And by the way, guys, I even knew at this stage, I was like, yeah, alright, she's not fucking interested. So then at about 10 o'clock that night, she texts me. And she goes, oh, hey, sorry, had a really bad day at work. Obviously, I couldn't make it today. How are you? And at this stage, I'm like, oh, go fuck off. Go fuck yourself. In my head. You know? And to me, I honestly thought she was hoping that I'd be chasing her that day. I genuinely thought that. Genuinely thought that the more I kind of dealt with her, right? But again, maybe I'm wrong. Now, at this stage, here's the thing, guys, and I've said this on a lot of podcasts. Here is where you offer, or you suggest another date. You know? You ask someone out, whether you're a man or a woman, and if they don't want to show up, you don't go chasing them. Now, here's where I made the mistake, and even, like, guys, I made the mistake, so believe me, I'm not trying to give you a lecture here, okay? Because right after this, I'm about to tell you what I just did, right? But again, this will just show you how dumb we can all be. But like, bottom line, guys, this is just classic case proof of somebody who's just full of shit. Okay, loving the attention, has no interest. Because that girl didn't reschedule, nothing. Okay? Now, I didn't text her back, and you know why I didn't text her back? Because she didn't text me during the day to let me know. Now, that's the thing, guys. I'm very certain she could have threw out one text message. Like, if it was not an emergency, or if there was no date, well then, 10 o'clock at night, yeah, absolutely. You know what, fuck it, I'll text Peter back later. There's no rush, I'm not meeting him later, like, there's no timeline, there's no deadline here, you know? That's okay. But the fact that, oh bollocks, shit, I won't be able to meet Peter today, will I? Listen, really quick to send a message back in that type of scenario. So, that's why I said she can go fuck herself. I'm not talking to this girl again. And she says, I sound really bitter here, don't I? My God. Anyway, I hope I'm not sounding bitter. Oh, God. Probably am. Anyway, so that happens. I let it go. I'm trying to leave it go. So about a week later, I walked past her in town, right? Because I knew where she was working because, well, she told me where she was working. It was a clothes shop. So I walked past and I thought anyway, maybe I was wrong, but I thought I saw her walk past and I thought she saw me and then ignored me. And I went, Jesus Christ, alright, well she's clearly not interested, right? Or what the fuck did I do? Like I'm the one getting turned down, so to speak. I'm not even getting another reschedule. And that was rough. And that, because you feel like a fool, right? So ladies, if you're out there, and if you think that guys need to reschedule, even if you cancel, well, you should really go fuck yourself too. Even if you're interested in the guy, if you're interested in the guy, you ain't doing that. And I would say that about any guy too. If some guy thinks, you know, he can cancel on a girl, and if he's expecting the girl to reschedule, well, guys out there too, you can go fuck yourselves too. And I'm being really serious, so I'm not having a go off women. I'm having a go off men and women here. So I'm not picking on certain people, because a lot of people out there, we know how humiliating it can be when you get stood up or they don't respond. You're like, oh Jesus Christ. All right, I thought that, and especially like I was texting her for 2 weeks. I was getting really excited to meet her, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to me out there. Of course, you know, we all get excited. So anyway, where was I? Tell everybody to go fuck themselves. So okay, let's see. So yeah, she ignores me, and I'm thinking, fuck me, that's another kick in the fucking the balls here. So I couldn't help it. I went home that night. I wasn't even drunk. I just went home and I texted her. And I said, hey, what's going on? And quite honestly, I think it was my subconscious way of calling out, as in like, I really needed to know why she didn't want to, or she didn't reschedule, because everything was so good for 2 weeks. Again, here, like I'm saying, guys, I'm admitting all this. I'm going into the fucking quicksand here fast, right? Getting desperate by the minute here. So she's chatting away, right? And I said, hey, how's it going? Now this is where things got really worse, and this is where she was a fucking bitch, okay? And I know there's guys out there that do this stuff too. So we're chatting away, and I said, look, hey, look, I have to admit, I can't even believe I'm texting you. I shouldn't be texting you. I'm sorry that I am, but maybe I'm bothering you. You clearly are not interested. And she goes, why do you think I'm not interested? And I went, because you basically didn't text me that day and you never rescheduled. So I'm going to add up 2 and 2 together. You're not fucking interested. So it was actually a relief to get that off my chest. And here's a big lesson, I think, guys, right? Honest to God. I honest to God think that sometimes we have to crash the car. We gotta crash the car. If you're feeling desperate and if you feel, why hasn't the person texted me? Why haven't they done it? Why haven't they done it? Right? It starts to drive you fucking insane. And you know what the best thing to do is? I call it crashing the fucking car. Have it out with the person. Okay? Have it out. Even if they think you're the biggest psycho on the planet, who gives a shit? Because the chances are you're probably going to go off and get drunk and then text them anyway, and you're probably going to look desperate anyway. So if you get into that stage, fuck it. And be prepared to look stupid. Be prepared to look desperate. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, crash the car. That's what I say. So, the moment I text her that, well, you're clearly not interested, or whatever I said, because you didn't try and reschedule nothing, and I said, look, you know, maybe you should just leave it there. And she goes, no, and then here she should have went, yeah, fuck it, Jesus Christ. Then she went, oh, no, I am interested. I think you're a very, very interesting person. I went, huh. Now that actually made me feel like shit. It was like, oh, fuck you, man. Are you kidding me? But now all of a sudden you're interested. And I'm thinking, like, this, you see, the problem here is, at this stage, you're thinking, well, Jesus, am I picking something up wrong? Am I taking this way too seriously? Am I analyzing this way too bad? Like, I don't even know what's going on at this stage. Because, and I'm thinking, God bless my innocence here, I'm thinking, why would anybody leave me up at this stage, even when I'm coming clean? And I'm even saying to her, here, listen, let's just call it a day here, okay? Look, you know, no hard feelings. You're obviously not interested. Like I didn't put a gun to her head. Believe you me, I didn't put a gun to her head. Hey, what the fuck is going on? And she felt pressure, and then she had to say something to me. 1,000,000,000% no. It was all relaxed. It was all good. And then she came back with that, oh no, I'm interested. Then she's asking me about, do I want to be in a relationship? And at this stage, I even said, well, you know, quite honestly, I'm not necessarily looking for a relationship, but if something happens, I am very, very open to having a relationship. So obviously, right? That's a good thing, okay? I'm looking at, do I really want, I'm not looking for just a girlfriend so anybody will do. I actually want to have a connection with somebody, and if I have that connection, I'm not going to throw it away. And I'm being honest with her. And she does like this, right? She likes this. So we're chatting away more, and we're chatting away for about another 2 or 3 hours. And then I said, look, hey, listen, I gotta go to sleep. So the next day, what was it? The next day, was it the next day? Hang on now. The next day, I asked her one more time, does she want to go and meet? So she goes, oh yeah, that sounds great, let's do that. And I even joked, I went, yeah, well that's if you show up, wink wink, ha ha ha. And she even went, ha ha ha, right? So the day of, we're meant to meet at, I don't know, whatever, 8 o'clock-ish, something like that. 2 o'clock, hey Peter, sorry I can't meet up today, have a really crazy day, this and that, blah blah blah. And this is the girl who's looking to be, who's very interested in me, who really wants to see what's going on, and she wants to know more about me. And believe me guys, that night when we spoke, she must have kept going for about 4 hours, and I couldn't stop her. Like, I was like, okay, well, I'm enjoying this conversation, but I'm fucking knackered here, I need to get some sleep. I've got some work tomorrow morning. So like, you know, there we go. Oh, Mrs. fucking Keane, and she's full of shit. She's gone. Fucking gone. So this time, I didn't actually fucking respond to her. Until... Oh, and by the way, she didn't respond to me either. Okay, she didn't even suggest anything. And of course, I got drunk one night, text her, and there was a bit of chat. Now, this was a couple of weeks afterwards. Not that there was any excuse, but still, it was a couple of weeks afterwards. And I just got drunk. Fucking drunk. Mad about her. And then, even though I know, only met her once, there I am fucking mad about her. So I'm not mad about her. Geez, you're all thinking I'm gone fucking nuts, I'd say. But you know, you just have that, you've got that feeling about somebody, you know? Anyway. And of course the desperation didn't help. Of course that probably just aggravated the feeling. So anyway, we're chatting away, and you know what? Things are just not, like, there was 1 or 2 messages back and forth, and actually she contacted me out of the blue, because then on TikTok there's about 3 or 4 people that actually have duplicated my accounts and they're pretending to be me. So she texts me saying, oh hey, listen, there's somebody, Peter Walsh, texting me looking for money. So I said, look, no, please ignore that. So I also put up a video about this on TikTok about a week before she contacted me about it. So I told her, I said, oh look, please ignore that. I even put up a video there last week about this to try and warn all of ye. So look, she was like, oh cool, fair enough, no problem. So what was it? She left the last day. Now I'm getting a bit cheeky with her, and see, here's the problem too. I'm getting smart ass with her. When we were talking again, right? And she's saying, oh well, you know, I'm very busy. I went, oh, I'm sure you are. Yeah, of course you were. And she's like, what does that mean? Playing all fucking innocent and victim-y. I mean, seriously, how deluded do you have to be, or how full of shit do you have to be? And that's what I want to talk about, guys, because she's either insanely deluded, which, that's bullshit, she's not. She's only deluded because she knows what she's doing. Do you get me? The first cause was she was fucking me around. Absolutely, no question, a doubt about it. 100% fucking me around. And because she was doing that, then she went into delusion. And again, that's if it's delusional. That like, what? What's wrong? I don't get it. Right? Which, that's total bullshit anyway. But again, just remember guys, that's the cause. Okay? That's the cause. So, it's not like she's delusional and then something happens. No. Something happens, then she goes into delusional. Now, I just think she was full of shit. 100% full of shit. She just literally, genuinely loved the attention. And you know what, guys? Like I'm saying, right? Even though I'm kind of back up and down here and I'm fucking pissed off 1 minute, I'm fucking bitter 1 second, then I'm fucking grand again 2 seconds later. Like, I think it's important to talk about these things, you know, be open. And actually, quite honestly, I have to admit, the podcast does actually kind of help me, well, vent, number one. But number two, just talk it out and just sort it out in my own head too. You know, and I hope this does give some people who have these little freaky moments. Lord knows if there was someone else out there like me doing a podcast and they were going on about this, I'd be fucking probably listening to it every second day. I'd be able to relate to it very easy. But it's this unbelievable victim bullshit, you know? Now, let's wrap this up, guys, okay? Here's what has definitely helped me, well, for now anyway, right? Maybe I'll fall into the pit again of quicksand. You see, the problem here is what happens is we get desperate. We fall into quicksand. The quicksand of desperation. The more we chug, the faster we sink. And Lord knows that absolutely happened for me here in this one. No question about it. I mean, unbelievable. So, I had to nip this in the butt. Okay? Had to nip this in the butt. I contacted her again. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, a fourth fucking time, and you're probably screaming at me, what is wrong with you, Peter Walsh? But look, hey guys, look, I'm honest, okay? Maybe I shouldn't be giving people dating advice, you know? Yeah. The fucking guy, typical. Is it, what do they always say? Those who teach can't do. Those who can do don't teach, or some shit. Maybe it's a classic case. Well, I wouldn't go that far now with me, but still, not far off maybe. Yeah, maybe I am full of shit. So, I said to her, the last thing I did, I said, I have to nip this in the butt. Absolutely. Now, there's no question about it. This girl's a narcissist. No question about it. 100% narcissist. All about herself, doesn't give a fuck. And I've experienced this before, to be fair. A very horrendous narcissist, my ex-girlfriend from 5-6 years ago. And that did teach me, but hey, do you know what? I still fell into the quicksand for a couple of minutes here, you know? You can still fall, you can still get knocked down on your ass, no matter how prepared you are for something. The only difference is, with experience, can you get up faster? So, for me, I can get up faster, definitely. So, I just said to her, I said, look, this has been going on way too long. I've been asking you out. You haven't come along. You don't ask, you don't offer again. This and that, blah, 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 blah. I said, look, this is very, very simple deal. This has to stop right here, right now. Because again, guys, now, I forgot to say one thing. She's liking all my social media videos, or not all of them, but she's liking stuff. Full of shit. Just keeping me in the game, alright? So, I said, look, meet me this weekend, or just delete me. I delete you, we block each other, and let's call it a day. This has gone on far too long. Now, some of you out there might be thinking, oh, he's putting what you call it? Just forgot the name. But like, you know, oh, it's either everything or nothing. Well, yeah, at this stage, it has to be everything or nothing. But at least, and what I did, guys, is she blocked me on social media. And you know what? It's actually okay. It's out of my hands. It's out of my control. It's actually grand. Not that I'm saying I'm going to be texting her again tomorrow night when I'm fucking drunk or, you know, this or that. No. Hell no. Because I've got my closure on the deal. It sucks. It really sucks. I really fancy this girl. But, yeah. It helped. It definitely helped. So, guys, here's my solution to anybody, okay? If you are falling into the quicksand of desperation here, right? You gotta crash the fucking car. You know, it's kind of like we're going on a racetrack. I know I was a racing driver, so it's maybe easier for me to look at it this way. But hopefully it makes sense. You know, maybe we are like a racing car, right? Where we're trying to keep on the racing track, not crash, right? But then when we get into desperation, it's like a racing car, almost, you know, on the sideline, kind of the car's getting sideways, right? It's like, ooh, okay? That's desperation, let's call it, right? You're not stable. All right, so sometimes if the car's getting way too fucking unstable, guess what happens? Nature takes over and says, sorry, you're crashing the fucking car. Stop this mess, and let's reset again. Okay? Like, we're not going to die from this scenario. You know, in a racing car you could, but you're not going to die from crashing the car, quoting as I'm calling it here. Do you know what I mean? So, I think it is very, very important to do that. I really do think it is. Sometimes we have to crash the fucking car. You know? And if you think you can just move away and never talk to them again, ignore them, block them, whatever, that's okay. But I know this for a fucking fact. And you know what, guys? Some of you, maybe, you be talking to this about your friends that, oh, do you hear Peter, now Mr. fucking Desperate. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck that way, because you know what? Everybody's been in that scenario before. Every single human being on this planet who has tried to date someone in their life has been exactly where I've been. And there's no difference between me or anybody else. I'm just honest. I'm actually secure enough to walk around knowing that people know this about it. But I'm secure enough to know. This stuff heals. Whereas people hold this shit in, this is the problem. And maybe you won't call them when you're drunk if you don't do anything. Like, I'm saying we call it crash the car here, guys, right? Have it out, an ultimatum, not an ultimatum, so to speak, but you're saying, look, hey, John, hey, Mary, listen, look, this has been going on long too far, okay? This has got to end. I really like you. You're showing me interest at 1 minute, then 5 minutes later you're not showing up, and really you should be rescheduling a date with me, but you don't, and then all of a sudden then you're texting me. You tell me, like, guys, put them in the fucking corner on the spotlight on them. Seriously. Put them on center's fucking stage and let them crawl their way out of their own bullshit. They've got to answer for the bullshit they're throwing around. You know what I mean? Like, make them work for it. Even if you don't want to see them again, why not put them in that situation? Put the fucking spotlight on them. They're the ones that are doing it to you, remember. You see, way too many people are too afraid, looking desperate. I don't want to look too keen. And this is the fucking problem from day one, guys. That drives me nuts when people say, oh, I don't want to look too keen now. Well, why would you want to go date someone that you're not keen about? Or why wouldn't you like to know that the person you're going on a date with is keen? Do you know what I mean? Like, way too many people out on the planet right now are too fucking occupied with looking all too casual, all too cool. Even if you're into the person, we all put on this wonderful, cool fucking show. Are you serious? I mean, that is the stupidest fucking approach to dating I've ever heard in my life. I've never understood it myself. I genuinely have never understood it. I never will either. Don't you want to know that person's into you? Jesus. If you want to date somebody, you got to be all in. I'm not saying marriage. I'm not saying you've got to not date anybody else. I'm just saying that go all in. And if you get to a scenario, my solution here, guys, if it's not working, and I know women can be better with this, where a woman can actually have a lot of maybe you call it willpower, is a lot easier to walk away from a guy. Okay, well, do you know what? Peter's not interested in me. He can go fuck himself, whatever. And sometimes it's a lot easier for a woman to just walk away. Right? And I genuinely do believe that. Of course, not everybody. And of course, it depends even, you know, the women that can normally do it. Sometimes those women could probably get caught up in a relationship that they have those moments of. We all have had it, right? But I think just in general, women are a bit better at this than us men. But you gotta crash the fucking car, guys, okay? If the person is fucking you around, and if it's just, you just can't get closure on the deal and you want to go... Now, I'm not saying you're in love with them or desperate for them. Sorry, not but you know what I mean. You're getting desperate, maybe, right? But you're not in love with them. But, you know, you're wondering, okay, what the fuck? Am I meeting her or not? Am I meeting Peter? What? Are you kidding me? And it actually, before you know it, you're sinking in that quicksand really fast. If you can walk away, great. If you can't, and it's tormenting you, have the fucking conversation. Look stupid. Like, remember this. You don't look stupid to them. They might sit there at home, laugh their ass off at you. Like, genuinely, think about this. Somebody might be sitting at home laughing their ass at you, right? Looking at your messages, right? Now, firstly, if they do that, they're evil. And they know that they're evil. And therefore, they're not going to be laughing at you then because they know how fucking evil they are and how bad they are. And they're going to go, Jesus, no wonder Peter's fucking wrecked over this. No wonder Mary's wrecked over this. Do you know what I mean? So then you wouldn't be laughing anymore. They might have their 5 seconds. But, you know, guys, what's the problem here? Have it out. Have it out. And they know exactly what they're doing. Everybody knows, whether they go into denial about it or not. Everybody fucking knows that they're stringing somebody along, or they're not. So even if they look at you as desperate, they know you're not desperate. They really don't. They might have been turned off by you, but they were turned off by you in the first place anyway. And you may have made it a little worse because, you know, you're a little bit desperate, but you're still in the quicksand. You're not out of the quicksand, and you're not going to get out of that quicksand unless you get your mind to relax. So, you know, I was going to talk about another story, but we'll leave that for another day. We've gone on for almost 40 minutes now. So look, guys, I hope that helps. Certainly it's helped me a little bit just to vent a small bit. Tell me, it's always good to vent. But, yeah, guys, don't be afraid to crash the car. I'll just leave it there. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Peter.
Walsh.